real close look at it, show of hands, what burns more calories, walking a mile or running a mile? Who says walking a mile burns more calories? Who says running a mile walks more calories? Who says it's the same? Okay, correct. It actually is the same. The difference is, because you're just moving your body a set distance takes a certain amount of energy. The difference is when you run, you burn it a lot faster. Okay, you probably run that same distance in a third of the time that you would walk it. So your exercise intensity is higher when you're running than when you're walking. It's higher when you're jogging than when you're walking, and it's higher when you're running than when you're jogging. So one of the things I see at the gym a lot are folks who are there and actually doing stuff, but kind of going through the motions because their effort level is really low. They're a little bit more focused on watching the Golden Girls on the video screen than they are on paying attention to the workout that they're doing. Okay? So you get just a feel here for how many calories you burn per minute doing these various activities. So that's per minute. All right? So you can see you can burn a lot of calories pretty quickly with some of these things. And then the other one is just a chart that shows what we call the rate of perceived exertion, or RPE. It's kind of a personal training type of a term. What it basically means is what's your effort level? And just like I told you, I want you activity-wise to move closer to this end of the room than to the couch potato end of the room. When it comes to what you do exertion-wise, I want you to safely, meaning knowing your body, listening to your body, but do things a little bit more intensely. Walk faster than you normally walk if walking is your thing. Bike faster than you normally bike if biking is your thing. And if you can move yourself on that exertion scale a little bit higher, a little closer to the 5 or the 6 or the 7 where it's challenging or very challenging, you're going to get better results in less time. And time is probably the biggest excuse people use for not exercising. You may have your own personal excuses for not exercising, but as a personal trainer, 90% of the people tell me they don't have the time. So making it an efficient workout is the best way to maximize your results in a given period of time. To do that, you want to just increase your effort level higher than you normally would have it. All right, so keeping that in mind, in intensity level, I have a handout here that shows you 6 different exercises, okay? And it includes pictures and descriptions, and I'm not going to go through all of them tonight. But what I will suggest is that if you do these 6 exercises, and you can do them daily if you'd like, because we're not talking about using heavy weights, we're talking about basically using your body weight, no equipment at all. And if you do these for the prescribed numbers of sets and repetitions, you're going to burn more calories, you're going to get stronger, you're going to get all the health benefits, and you're going to help yourself lose some weight. Now, these are very basic exercises that I have right here, and it's a great starting place. And I'm going to show you 2 of them, and I'm going to show you those 2 exercises with some tips to make them either harder or easier based on who you are and where you are with your health right now. So the first thing I'm going to show you is the squat, okay? And if you've never done this before, you're just going to pull up a chair at home or your ottoman. Can everybody see me? And all I want you to do is stand in front of it. And from this position, if you've never done this before, I just want you to sit down. Keeping your heels down, keeping your back straight and your posture proper, and then stand back up. Okay? Seems pretty easy, right? You probably do it 50 times a day without thinking about it. Okay? Try to do it 20 times in a row, and then tell me how easy it is. Okay? Sit down, stand back up. Sit down, stand back up. Okay? At your own pace, at your own comfort level. Now, that's a pretty simple exercise, and it's very functional, meaning you do it every day 50 times. So getting stronger at doing that is just going to help your overall health. That exercise can be made a lot tougher simply by taking the chair away and controlling your body weight to a point where you don't sit down in the chair, so that you're in total control the whole way up and the whole way down. It can then be made a little bit tougher by adding arm movements to it. I don't want to slug the stand here, but just as you sit down, just get your arms moving in some way. Make the safe sign in baseball, or do a jumping jack with your hands. Something that's going to increase your heart rate. In fact, I felt mine go up just doing 3 or 4 of them. Or you can start doing them faster. Now again, these are all what we call progressions, taking a basic exercise that you should master and then making it harder as you get better at that exercise. So once you've mastered those 3 versions, then how fast can you go with it? Okay? How many can you do during a commercial break when you're watching the Phillies game? That's sort of a challenge, something you can do very easily at home. And you can make it harder and harder and harder. You can add a jump or something like that. Well, let's just start with the basics and get yourself to a point where you master sitting down and standing up. And when that gets easy, take one of those progressions and add that into your exercise program. The next one I want to show you is a push-up. And I'm going to guess a lot of people, if you look through that handout, saw a push-up and said one of 2 things. I've never, ever, ever done a push-up in my life, or it's been since high school. Okay? Anybody, there's probably a few people who have done push-ups in the last 5 years, but let's see a show of hands if you want to volunteer. Okay, a few people. The problem is it's a psych-out exercise because you're thinking military, you're thinking boot camp, you're thinking these perfect form push-ups, which, hopefully this is one, but anyway, you're thinking of that. Okay. All a push-up is a pushing motion, right? Kind of like pushing open a door. You can simplify that pushing motion. So I talked about progressions with the squats, making them harder. I'm talking about regressions right now. Make this exercise easier for your fitness level. It's a pushing motion. So all I want you to do is go over to a wall or a door or wherever. Get in that position. Put your feet back as far as you're comfortable. And my arms should be a little lower. Push down and out. Same motion, but you're not supporting as much of your body weight. Okay? You're still strengthening the muscles in your arms and your chest and your core because you're keeping your body nice and tight as you do it. After you've done that, and I don't have a bench here, but you could lower it to a point where you're on a bench or the sofa with your hands on the sofa. Still, because your arms are raised up, you're not supporting your entire body weight. But the lower you go, the more challenging it is. When you get down to the floor, you don't have to be on your toes, right? You can be on your knees. Again, taking away some of your body weight. Same motion until the point where you can get to a full push-up. Okay? You can make this progression, and I can tell you why. And I have two stories about clients I've had. The first one dealing with the squats. A woman in my boot camp could not do a squat. Couldn't really even sit up and down in a chair with her heels staying in contact with the ground the first night, the second night. So I worked with her for about 5 minutes after class, just sitting down in a chair, standing up, keep your heels down, keep your heels down, keep your heels down. So anyway, the type of mindset you have to get is what Maureen got, and Maureen went home that weekend. I gave her homework. I said, learn how to do a squat. Okay, how you do it? Go home and do this, right? So she sat with her kids in front of her ottoman in her living room and had her kids critique her motion. She said she did like 200 of them over the course of the weekend. Came back on Tuesday night to the next boot camp, and I was like, who are you? Because she was doing it perfectly with just a little bit of effort. And what I actually loved, she involved her kids in it. Talk about a lesson right there. Her kids were actually helping her to learn the motion, and they learned it themselves. So that's the first story about just like perseverance and getting the right mindset. And the second one about the push-up, every female client I have, 95% of them, insist they'll never be able to do a push-up. Okay? I've taken many clients from a push-up against the wall or a knee push-up, and not many of them. Okay? And I have some female clients who, if they were here, would blow your mind doing 30 strict, full push-ups. 55-year-old female, 40-year-old female, 36-year-old female, knocking out push-ups to the point where I don't want to count anymore. That's how good they get, okay? It takes effort, though, all right? Because they're moving more every day than they did before, all right? It takes time, it takes effort, but the results pay off. You're going to get a little bit of self-confidence out of it. You're going to get that weight loss. You're really going to get a lot stronger.